Hey, how you doing? This is John Brown with another episode of Black Coffee here. We got a guest, my main man, Vencent. How you doing,
Yes,
Vince?
sir. Good. How are you?
Where are you from?
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what you got from me, brother?
Well, I'm 23 years old. I'm about to have a baby. I'm about to have a boy. Um, yeah, I'm about to have a boy, and I want to know the steps that you took to, get your boys in the right positions
Man, you
to
calling
be.
it the right time. You calling it the right
Yes, sir.
time.
Yes, sir.
Because
I mean,
this is
I've
when
been
you want
watching
to
all.
know it when he's young, right?
Yes, sir.
So first thing I want to know is how tall are you?
6'1".
Good. And
Yes, sir.
you're
And
the
my
mom?
fiance, yeah, my fiance, she's 5'5", 5'6" on a good day.
Okay, so 5'6" is good. 5'6", 5'7" is what you want to shoot for with females, or above,
Yes, sir.
because that has a lot to
Yes, sir.
do with his or her ability. Are you? I'm trying. I see, but you look. Are you mixed?
Yes, sir. I'm mixed, black and Latino.
Okay, so your parents stepped on it once already. What's
Yep.
your fiance?
You gonna say something? I'm already stepping on it again.
She white?
Nah, she's Mexican too.
Okay, so then stepped on it again. So you got at least, but you got a little a bit of the black, what I call black gold running through your veins. You got some of it. Now, don't get me
Yes, sir.
wrong. I strongly believe that Hispanics, blacks, whites, Asians, Africans, everybody can make it. I believe that.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes.
mean, look at
Well,
Otani, right?
actually, she played Division One softball. She
Yeah.
broke records as.
So don't get me wrong. I just like bigger people because your chances are greater. So
Yeah.
uh, right now, what sport would you like him? It's gonna be a boy, right?
Yes, sir.
What sport would you like him to play?
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up playing basketball. I have four brothers. My older brother played football at Baylor. My other older brother ran track at this Division 3 school. I played Division 1 football for a smaller Division 1
Mm-hmm.
FCS. But I got a late start to football. I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I was in between football, basketball, track.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really. I played linebacker in college,
Okay.
and I didn't start playing linebacker till like the middle of my senior year. And I kind of snuck by. I got a few offers. I got a few D1 offers. I didn't really excel at linebacker. I didn't really have that much experience, but
Right.
I was smart. I had good instincts.
Mm-hmm.
I am athletic. I ran track. I played basketball. Basketball was my main sport. That was what I was shooting for to go to college for. But I'm 6'1", so I wasn't gonna make it in that. So
Well,
that,
well, let's talk about basketball for a minute.
yes, sir.
I have a neighbor. He's a Hispanic guy, and his dad's his. I met him when the kid was maybe 9 years old. He's out, shooting his basketball. And I go, "What? You're a basketball player?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Are you good?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "How many shots you put up a day?" A lot. A lot. Okay. How many is a lot? A lot. I go, "Okay, you don't have a number?" He goes, "No." It's okay. You need a number. Now, I'm
See,
telling you this story because I don't care if he's Hispanic. He puts up enough damn shots, and he's not tall. But if he puts up enough shots, more than everyone else on the planet, and he outdoes Steph Curry, there's a place for him. There's a
yeah,
kid, I forgot his name, I should write it down. Guy from, who plays in the G League. China, I think he's on the map.
China.
Some little dude, Asian dude, like 5'5" or something, killing people. Have
Dang,
you
for real,
seen
I
that?
ain't, I ain't.
Have you seen that?
No, I haven't heard of him. No.
Oh man, listen. So when I saw that, and my neighbor's dad was looking at it, I go, "See, that little dude can make it. But
Dang.
so I'm just making a point. He must have put in a lot of work in order to be as good as he is. He almost never misses a shot. That makes a difference. So
Yes, sir.
First thing I would do, if I'm you, I would pick a sport in my mind where if he makes it, he makes a lot of money. Right?
Yeah.
We're not doing stupid shit like track. We're not doing gymnastics, none of that stuff.
Nah,
What if he makes
shooting.
it?
I'm definitely shooting for football.
Okay,
For sure.
So based on what you're talking about your wife and you and your child, he got to be a slot. He got to be a slot receiver.
A slot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he may get lucky and reach 6 feet where he can be a DB.
So do you think that the height is all dependent on the mother?
I think it's a lot on the mother, not the goddamn uncle that's 9 feet tall. No, the mama.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the mama.
Okay.
So there's a chance he can play slot. There's no question.
Yeah.
You know, he'll be good at slot. Maybe even DB. But
yeah,
when when my kids are 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm talking to them about going to the NFL all the time.
Yeah.
I'm talking to them about give me A+ in school. I'm seeing all this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm instilling that inside of them. At a young age, you have to do that.
Yes, sir.
So don't do gaga goo goo and bullshit around with the little kid.
Yeah.
You do that, but also you got to sit down and say, look here, Johnny, whatever his name. What are you gonna name him?
Shy. It means God's gift.
Okay. If it was my kid, I'll call him. First name would be Super. You know, and his middle name would be Man. Shit, Superman.
My dad told me to name him Chosen One.
You know what I mean? I like Superman. People think I'm crazy, but anyway. So this kid you're gonna have, you have to instill things in that kid right now, early. We're going to the NFL. This is why we're doing that. Remember, girls are dream killers, and make them say it back to you. What did I tell you about girls? They're dream killers, Papa. And let him repeat that. You have to train his mind at a young age.
Yes, sir.
And once you do that, you're not gonna have problems. He doesn't want to eat. He doesn't want to go to bed. He doesn't want to do his homework. You won't have that because you start at a young age.
No, we're not going for none of that.
Even schoolwork, same thing. Now remember this. You said you're a good student, right?
Yes, sir.
So teachers can't. I believe teachers in general cannot teach kids to be smart because the system they have. It's 30 kids in a room. It's like a football coach. Dude, you're playing basketball. You got 30 kids. You got one net, and you're gonna teach them how to shoot. I'm gonna teach everyone to shoot in 45 minutes in this class. It's not possible.
No, they're not getting no muscle memory.
Thank you. So you have to help your kid in school in order for your kid to do what they want to do, what you want them to do, to achieve what you want them to achieve. Mom and dad has to do that. Please understand and don't wait later and don't say, I want to find out what he loves. You know, maybe he loves gymnastics. That's stupid. That's called bad parenting. Okay?
Yeah.
You have to tell your child, this is what you're going to do. If your child, you're going to let your kid say, I don't want to buy that house. Let's buy another house. You're not going to let them say that. They're too young.
Yeah.
Take choice away. You have to give them all the guidance and tell them what it is they're going to do in life. And don't be afraid of it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Don't be afraid of other people saying stuff to you about, oh, you shouldn't do that.
Oh no, I've already went through that with my dad. You know, he was the same way, but you know, my dad kind of struggled. My pops was in and out of jail, so like, you know, a lot of the times he wasn't here. A lot of the times he was. But I mean, he kind of reminds me of you in a sense, but like not obviously aren't the same. But you know, he was the same way. He was telling me what to do. We just didn't have the best of relationships,
right?
Especially with my mom. how you were saying, make sure the mom is involved, make sure she's on point with what the plan is.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have the best relationship, so it didn't work out the way we wanted it.
So the good thing about that is you learned what wasn't good. You learned what you're not going to do to your child.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have a chance to cut that umbilical cord and start all over and say, okay, here's what I'm doing with my kid. This is how I'm going to do this. And you got to think from the very word go, your aim is to get him to the NFL if he's playing football. Don't think about college or, oh, let's see how far he can go. No, go all the way.
Yeah.
You have to tell him that. If you don't believe in him, who else will?
Shit, nobody.
Now, most kids graduate at 18 years old, right? Yep. So don't send him to school early where he's going to graduate at 17. Don't do that.
So when do you send him to school? Like
5 years old.
What age? 5 years old, send him to school?
Yeah. But some people send them at 4 because their mama's lazy and she's getting tired of watching the baby. Now she got like a little daycare called kindergarten. See? And they try to take advantage of kindergarten, call it daycare, so their ass can be free. No,
we ain't doing it.
So get that kid got to graduate at 18 and do not hold him back. Oh, my God. Don't do that. That's the worst thing that you can do to your child is hold them back. Now, they're going to tell you, there's a lot of people tell you, oh, no, so a lot of the guys, the top 10 guys or top 20 guys on the top 100 kids in America, all were held back. Well, how far are they going to go? I want to see how many guys that had a long career in the NFL was held back. That's what I want to see, those numbers.
I don't know, not one.
So your kid got to play up. If anything, has to play up. Now, we started doing sports at 4 years old in my house. So from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I let them do baseball. You can do basketball, soccer. Let them do everything. It helps with athletic ability. That make sense?
You said 4 through 8?
Yeah, 4 through 8. I let them do different sports. It helps with their athletic ability. Okay. But don't get it twisted. Football is the main thing. And you got to let them know, hey, we're doing this. Tell them why. When he's 4 or 5, hey, we're gonna do baseball, or we're gonna do softball, we're gonna do soccer, we're gonna do basketball to help with your athletic ability. But the main thing is the main thing, which is football. Always talk to them like that, like grown men, and they'll start remembering. They believe in you. You're their dad. You're the biggest thing on the planet to them. They believe in you. If you tell them that, they're going to believe it. And they'll understand, okay, I know why I'm playing. Don't think they're stupid and they don't know. If you tell them, they'll understand you.
Yeah. So what exactly were you doing? Because I have a plan, right? I got a little notebook right here with like plan for them that I want to do. What exactly were you doing from age 0 to 2? What were you doing from
0 to 2 was 5? Mostly just educational stuff.
Educational.
Yeah, a little. If we buy toys, we try to buy the clever toys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To help them.
What type of toys were they?
Beg your pardon?
Say that again.
We would do there's educational toys that you can buy.
Okay.
You know, or you can just buy little silly bouncing balls, or you can buy. My wife had bought some building blocks, and they were geometrically shaped. Some were circles, some were squares, and you had to put them in the right holes. All these little things, just to challenge them mentally.
Oh,
you know,
like the Montessori.
Yeah. So to challenge them mentally at that young age, you know, and I always have fun with my boys, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed they also speak different languages. My fiance is definitely going to be teaching him Spanish.
Wait.
How do you go about?
Start over. Whoa! Stop there. She speaks Spanish?
Yes, she speaks Spanish.
Fluent?
Fluent. Yeah, that's her first language.
Okay, so listen carefully. Imperative. Where is she at? Can she hear me?
She's right here. She can hear you.
Okay, look.
Yeah, she can hear you.
What's her name?
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah. You never, ever ever speak English to your boy. Never.
She was already gonna do that. That's
When I say never, I mean never. It's hard. His friends are gonna come over when he's 7 years old, 8 years old, and you're gonna talk to them in Spanish, and he'll talk to them in English. If they don't understand, it's too bad. Don't worry about it. Never, ever, ever speak English to that kid. Vincent speaks English to him.
okay. Okay. She got it. She's listening. She's writing stuff down too.
I mean, when I say never, my wife never, to this day, right now, she never speaks English to them.
Yeah. And then they also learned. They went to French school.
French
as well,
schools.
right?
If you can find another, or you find a French school or Cantonese, Mandarin school near you, take them there too.
So when you took them to French school, what did that entail? Like was it like an actual school, like the school that they were going to, like from?
It was an actual school, like right? And they had 1 hour English, but everything else was from A to Z. Every class, math, science, every class was French.
Okay.
Reading, writing, everything was French.
What grades?
From kindergarten to 6th or 7th.
Okay, kindergarten to 6 or 7.
Then I took him. Then my wife took him to Paris and put him in school in France.
Oh, then they went to France.
Okay. We want to make sure they learn it.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. We'll take him to France. Put him in school there.
Okay.
So you want to see if your kid is speaking Spanish? Send him to school in Mexico or wherever she's from. You'll find out.
Yeah.
But never. And if you can find, right now, I'll look around and see if there's any schools that teach Chinese.
Say that again.
I will look and see if there's any schools that will teach Chinese near you.
Chinese? Okay.
I mean, they call it Cantonese or Mandarin. I don't know which one is more popular. I think Mandarin is more popular than Cantonese, but you have to look at it. What if there's a school near you that teaches that? Wow. Think about it. He knows Chinese, he knows Mandarin, and he knows Spanish, and he knows English. He's winning out the box.
Yeah.
Now Stanford's trying to give him a scholarship.
Yeah.
Where he can play football at Stanford.
Yeah, and see that's another thing that I was going to ask you. Like, we want him to thrive in the academics as well. Like, not just like get good grades. We want him to thrive. Like we want him something to fall back on. Just
whoa. No fall back on. There's no such thing as don't believe in no. Nothing. Look, you know the story about the guys who was on a ship and they was floating around the world and they wanted to take over this island. You ever heard that story?
Wait, say that again.
Okay, there's a group of pirates and they're on this ship and they come up to this island and they want to take over the island to rule the island. You heard that story?
It sounds like slavery to me.
Okay, but just a story. Not that it actually happened, just a story. So,
okay.
So they see the island. They go, okay, men, we're about to take over this island. There's only 100 of us, and there's 1,000 of them. But if we fight hard, we can take over this island and own everything that's on this island. It could be ours. Okay, and they're all excited. Yeah, let's do it. So they get in their boats. They start rowing towards the island. All of a sudden, they look back, and the ship is on fire. And he goes, Captain, something's wrong. The ship is burning. The captain said, yeah, I know. I set it on fire. Why'd you do that? Well, now we have to win. We ain't got no plan B.
Yeah. No, ain't no choice.
Ain't no choice. So when you say something to fall back on, you're already starting out wrong.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing to fall back on. Right. He gets an education because you want him to be smart. He's going to the NFL, and that's it. There ain't no if, and buts about it. There ain't no fall back.
Yeah, you're right.
So don't think like that. And I'm giving you permission, and it's okay to think like that. Like I'm saying, it's okay not to think like that. A lot of people think that's bad to think like that.
Yeah.
what do you call them? I wrote something down. I'm gonna look at it, see if I can find it, because I wrote this down. I said I want to remember this. You remind me of this. Not exactly, but kind of. And there could be a lot of listeners that fall into this category. You are like, what I call first generation sport parents. First generation
What is
sports parents.
what?
Meaning this is your first go around at trying to either yourself be a champion or create a champion out of your child. It's the first phase for you. First time that you're trying to do something like this.
Yeah.
And if it is, there's a lot you don't know because you've never done it, and that's why I'm talking to you. That's why I'm explaining this to you. So let's take that choice away. It's something to fall back on. No, there's nothing to fall back on. And he better get offered at Stanford.
Yeah.
He ain't got no choice. You getting offered, you're gonna be just one of the smartest guys. My kids were the smartest guys in the school, and Stanford called me and said, "Mr. Brown, I want to offer every boy in your house a scholarship."
Yeah. I saw that. I saw that.
It wasn't no. So I came from Compton. I didn't have nothing. Where I came from, I didn't realize until I got older. I didn't realize that when I went to school, I never had breakfast in the morning. When I came home, very seldom was there food on the table, that I can just sit down and eat. This stuff almost never happened to me. And I didn't realize that until I got older. So if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
But you just got to, right now, get your mind right. Get your mind in the right state of mind to understand what is needed, what's required in order to achieve that.
And what are the steps to getting my mind right? I have
Talking to
my
me.
own way of doing it.
You're talking to me. I'm getting your mind right already. You just learned something. You just said, hey, something to fall back on, nothing to fall back on. My sister was working for me, right? And I told her my kids' names. She goes, "Oh wow, that's a lot. Equanimous, Tristan, Imhotep, J. St. Brown. That's my first son's name." She goes, "Wow, that's gonna be a lot to write down on the job application." I said, "They're not gonna ever. They're not gonna ever work. They're not gonna fill out a job application." And she looked at me like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah, that's not part of the plan.
Yeah.
It's just not. So certain people have a certain. Well, I want him to work at the mill. I worked at the mill. Your grandfather did. No. Shoot for the stars.
No.
Shoot for the stars because the bottom is overcrowded. Right?
That's
so this young man is coming into this world and he's going to look up to you. You're God to him. And everything you and your wife tells him, he's going to believe. So at a young age, you better start instilling the right things in his brain. And when you say it's time to go to bed, he understands it's time to go to bed. Now, it's not no debate. Oh, I can't sleep with the light on. Turn the light off and go to bed.
Yeah. And that kind of brings me to my next question. You were mentioning how how you grew up and everything. How do I instill grit into him? How do I instill that nothing's given to him? How do I instill overcoming adversity, making him relentless?
Okay, so you live in Dallas. I've been to Dallas a couple of times just for a football game. Are you in the suburbs?
Yes, for sure.
So is there like a ghetto near you somewhere?
Yeah, South Dallas, Duncanville.
Okay, so Duncanville, South Dallas, that's where he wants to go and work out with kids. He don't have to play. He doesn't have to play there, but if it's not that far, he can play there too. But he got to be around those kids.
Yeah,
he has to play with those kids.
Would you move there?
Work out with those kids.
Now, would you move there or
no? How far is it from your house?
I would say like 45
Oh
minutes.
no, I'm driving there because you want to get
Yeah.
educated where you live.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you want to get
That makes
educated where
sense.
you live, but you take them to that Duncanville in South Dallas where they get that real good stuff, where you
Yeah.
learn how to be a dog. Because
Yeah.
if you don't do
So
that,
dunk.
you're gonna be a little pretty boy. Now
Yeah.
you half
No, we don't want
Hispanic,
that.
half black. Your wife is Hispanic. That means he's gonna have nice, good curly hair, right?
Yeah.
Don't let that boy have long hair.
Cut his hair.
Yeah,
Straight fade.
that's some. That's some. How can I say? I don't want to be. I don't like using bad language, but shit, that's some bitch ass shit.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't got.
No,
You
but
don't
I
got
just.
sugarcoat
But
nothing.
sometimes bad language is designed to knock on your front door and get your attention. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So don't do
You don't
that.
got. You don't,
Turn that
yeah.
boy into a boy. Don't turn into a pretty boy. Then you start instilling
Yeah.
the wrong things in him.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand?
You're right.
So you got to make sure because he's going to be light skinned, right? They're not going to be able to figure out what he is.
Yeah.
And the dark skinned kids in Duncanville are going to be trying to take his money and push him
Yeah.
around. So you're not trying to raise
Nah.
no
We
guys that's soft like the Jackson
ain't
5.
raising.
You understand?
No, we ain't raising that. Yeah.
So you got to keep him hard. That's why you got to take him to Duncanville, South Dallas, to play sports.
Yeah.
Even if he's on a team,
But,
he can be on a team in Dallas, but on the weekends he trained with kids in Duncanville. Because in
okay.
Duncanville he may get in a fight.
Yeah. So would you put like, say for instance, like you start sports 5 to 8 years old. Uh, would you put him in a little league in Duncanville, or would you leave him in the suburbs?
He
Little
can be in a
league?
suburb,
Okay.
but he got to
Okay.
go work out with the kids once a week in Duncanville. He
Okay.
got to get some Duncanville inside his blood,
Yeah. I got you.
or he's gonna be
I got
soft.
you. I got you. Yeah.
Then you're gonna be saying, "Oh man, the coaches don't like my son." Well, then he ain't that good.
Nah. Nah.
I'm just saying, you stick around where you live now and try to raise him around there and see what happened to him with that curly hair.
Oh, I'm
The guy had
already.
that curly hair, that light skin, trying to be cute and all that. No, you need all that cute stuff. Got to go. He got to be hard. When you raising a
I'm
man,
already witnessing. Yeah. Yeah. So, and then another thing. So obviously you work real hard. You were 2-time Mr. Universe, Mr. World. What would you do as a training regimen as far as lifting weights? Like, I mean, I know how to lift weights, but like starting from age 5, I don't know how to do that. How would you do
okay,
that?
that's a
How
good
would,
question.
what,
Age 5, I would have him doing push-ups. Right? I would go in my garage, either buy one or create a pull-up bar.
okay.
Show him how to do them. And then you're going to have
Uh-huh.
to grab his knees, put his hands on there, grab his knees, and assist him up and down because he can't do it himself. He's too weak.
Yeah.
But you're just teaching him the movement. So you do push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, right? And then I would buy me a little weightlifting bench. And I would go to Home Depot and get like a little bar, a PVC pipe or a little bar. And just teach him how to do bench press. Just the movement. You're not trying to get strong or
Yeah.
lift weights. Just the movement.
Okay.
Go up and down. Up and down. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Right? And then he stands up, gets some rest. And I would say, okay, do push-ups again. After push-ups,
Yeah.
okay, come over here, bench press. Even if there's no weight on the bar.
So mainly calisthenics, or how do you
Calisthenics.
say it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For right now.
Okay.
Now, on the bench, then I would go buy some 2.5 pound plates and put the 2.5 pounds on there and have him do that. But never a lot of weight, mostly body weight movements, okay?
Body weight.
Yeah, so you can do that like 2 or 3 days a week.
Okay, 2 or 3 days a week. Okay. And so I'm guessing like when you do this, obviously, like, what would you do to get him faster? You know, like, how would
Okay,
I
he's gonna be.
be able to?
Here's my opinion. He's gonna be as fast as he is. He's gonna be as fast as God wanted him to be, with your blood and your wife's blood mixed together. He's gonna be as fast as he's gonna be. There's no way you can come to get any kid and say, "I'm gonna get you signed up with the best speed coach in the world, and you're gonna run in the Olympics." That ain't gonna happen. You're either born with speed or you're not. So don't worry about his speed. You know, I wouldn't. At 5 years old, I never ran my kids. They can run around the street and just do what they want to do, just have fun.
Yeah.
That makes sense? Because right now we're talking about athletic ability. Athletic ability, just do, like I said, football, basketball, soccer, whatever. Run around, do some push-ups, some pull-ups, some sit-ups, and just have fun with him. And then slowly but surely, he'll get to be 6, 7, and now you maybe got 5 pounds on the bar. Right?
Yeah.
He's not going to get strong, but he's climbing trees, picking his bike up. And as he climbs trees, picks his bike up with his friends, that's resistance right there. That's kind of like resistance training. Right? To pull himself up in a tree is the same thing as pulling himself on a pull-up bar. And just let him do as many sports as he can, but keep the main thing the main thing. Let him know, hey, we're doing this for athletic ability, but our main thing is football. You're going to the NFL. You got to always tell him that.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir.
Then what's going to happen is as he's older, you have to call me back and go, okay, I got another question. What do I do now? It never stops. But
I know. I can already see it.
But it's a great thing that you're jumping on this early. Yeah. Because I talk to fathers and they go, man, how'd you get your kids to be so disciplined? How'd you get your kids to listen to you? Look, that starts at a young age. So before he's born, you got to be ready for that. I'm glad you called now, because you and other parents who are getting ready to be new fathers and mothers, you got to think about this now. You can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of big on child psychology. Like, I've been doing a lot of research, all that just recently for the last few months now. She's already 7 months pregnant, but I've been like researching it for like that last 7-8 months now. We were kind of expecting already. Man, like, I feel like I have a good plan set out for him and everything, but obviously there's going to be more to come.
Yes.
Was there any like supplements besides eating? Like, I know eating's the number one thing. It's important. But what other like things were you giving them? Like any supplements, vitamins?
Not between 1 and 5. Right?
Not between 1 and 5. Okay.
When Equanimous was, Alma was 7, and they were 7, 8, 9. I think when I started giving them supplements.
Okay, what type of supplements?
Just protein powder, like whey protein. Okay. I have my own protein powder called Cane Protein, CANE.
Yep,
so if you go on caneprotein.com, you can buy the protein. Because
I already looked at it.
Okay, because remember this here. A young child needs more protein than you as a man, because he's growing. He or she is growing. But at a young age, I wouldn't worry about that. Right now, you're just trying to have fun. The main thing I would do if I were you, I would, like I said, instill things in them at an early age. Second thing is, I would look for another school to teach them another language. Okay. Because it seems to me, my kids were learning German, French, and English. It's like playing chess and the other kids are playing checkers.
Yeah. You already 3 steps ahead.
3 steps. So for every one word they have in their vocabulary, my son's had 3.
Yeah.
3 times more brain power.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn. No, you were thinking outside the box.
Yeah. That part was my wife's doing, actually.
She was?
That was her doing. I just agreed to it. I just knew it made sense when she said that. I go, oh, heck yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Now, were they doing like any like extra enrichment, like as far as like outside of school, like with their
All
studies?
the time. Let me say that again. All the time. Schools cannot teach my kids
So
anything.
yeah,
You understand?
so I looked up this
So
place.
let's say French. She had a French tutor come to my house once or twice a week, twice or three times a week,
Yeah,
right? On top of school.
dang, yeah.
And then if they had problems with math, we send them to, I don't know if you guys have this, we have a thing called Mathnasium.
Yeah.
And we send
See, I was just about to tell you that the Russian school of math. I don't know if you heard of
them.
it. I think there's one in California, but they started building them out here. I've been researching the Russian school of math. To put them in 4 hours a week. One that's what it says online. It says they usually go from
What are
one
they
to four
doing in
hours a
that
week.
class?
Just math. Like some of the kids, they start out in first grade. They start out in first grade, and by eighth grade, they already have conquered calculus. Like
Okay.
they already know
Well,
calculus by eighth grade.
that's a no-brainer. Something you have to look into. It's a
Okay.
no-brainer.
Yeah. See, I was just
You have to.
yeah,
We did a lot of outside stuff
yeah,
for English, French, and German.
yeah.
So you got to do a lot of
Okay.
outside stuff. A lot.
I got, I got you.
Never stop
I got
doing
you.
that.
I got you.
Because the schools cannot. It's like football. If he's a receiver, you got to have outside help from a coach. You just
Yeah.
can't
No.
go
I'm
to the
not.
team and do their little workouts. It's not enough.
Nah. I already know that myself. Um. What is my next question? Oh yeah. So obviously, when they get to a certain age, when they get to like sixth grade or whatever, they're gonna have a lot of peers or a lot of distractions. Uh, influences. I'd say like, what do you do to steer them away from that? How do you not? How
You
do you
start
not
it
be the bad
because
guy?
you're starting it now. So you ain't got to worry about that
Yeah.
because you're gonna start it
It,
now.
it won't even,
As soon as your baby is
so it won't
born,
even.
you're gonna instill anything that you're concerned about that you think you should be worried about. Drugs, girls, whatever. You start talking to him early about it all the time.
Yeah. So how would you say it with drugs? Because I like that's just a big problem for sure in this generation.
Okay, look, drugs are bad. They'll destroy you. They'll kill you. Drugs will kill
Yeah.
you, son. What did I tell you about drugs? Drugs will kill you, Papa. Okay. You say that enough. I mean, not just one. I say it every other day at least. What I tell you about
Yeah.
drugs? Drugs will kill you. What I tell you
You would just say this out the blue.
out the blue. Line up.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I tell you about girls? They're dream killers, Papa.
Yeah.
I said it
Yeah.
all the time. You got to reinforce everything.
Yeah.
Keep their mind strong.
Yeah. So that's another question going towards that. Discipline. What would you do to discipline them? Uh, I was spanked as a kid.
Look, you
What are your
can't
beliefs on
look.
that?
I spanked my kids never with my hands. My hands are for loving. Never hit my kids on their bottoms with my hands ever. I made a little paddle. I would paddle their little bottoms, but never beating them like my parents did. Just
No, see that. I mean, that was
yeah,
me.
never do that. That's
That's
bad. No, you don't have to beat a kid. Just let the wood or the paddle hit his bottom. Not even hard. Just the fact that you his dad and you're upset at him. That's enough to break his heart. So
yeah,
because he looks up to you, so you don't have to really beat him. I don't believe in beating. My kids must
yeah.
have had, I think, each one, two, three whoopings in their life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Damn,
I mean,
that makes me feel bad.
yeah, I mean,
Shit.
I ain't about whooping my kids. I love my kids. I don't want to be whooping them. Hey, sit down, talk to them. Look, I'm disappointed in you. You shouldn't have done that. Woo, 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 woo. You know,
Yeah.
but don't make it a habit of beating them. No way. You got to cut that. Cut that.
No, we already agree. No, no way. No way.
The hands are for loving. I mean, I used to go to my son's school, take him out of school at 12 o'clock, and go to the beach.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful day. You want to stay here? They go, no, let's get out of here. Let's go to the beach. Let's go hang out.
Yeah.
So I had that real good bond with my kids because I always had fun with them also. It's not all work. We had fun. Yeah. We did a lot of things together.
Yeah. Work hard, play hard.
Build a good bond with them.
Yeah. Now, when you were like testing the waters with with all the different sports, how did you figure out like what they were best at?
No, it wasn't no figure out what they're best at. I made them do what I want them to do. And I can train. I can look. Michael Jackson wasn't born to be Michael Jackson. His dad created that. That's what I'm telling you. You can create your son to be whatever you want him to be. Yeah. Within reason. You can't say, I wanted to be an offensive lineman. Right? Because he won't project. So, within reason, I hope I don't have to say that because this is logical. But within reason, you just have to get them to believe it. They'll believe everything. You know, the discipline will come. You go, look, here's what we're doing.
Yeah.
They know from a young age, I'm going to the NFL. And that's just how it is. How do you know that? My dad told me. And that's it. No plan B. No. That's it. This is it. That's what we're doing.
The way you're making it seem like it sounds easy, but like I guess just most parents are just lazy to do it.
There's no such thing, like I say, as lazy kids. There's only lazy parents. Now, that's a good statement you said. I make it sound easy. Okay. Let's say you have your wife standing against a wall like this, and you're going to throw knives. Outline her whole body with knives. You've seen them do that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming before the guy had his wife stand there, he drew an outline of her and was practicing all the time. Right or wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
So, my question to you is this. How many knives do you think he had to throw before he told his wife, okay, honey, I'm ready. I think you can stand there now?
Shit, he probably threw 1 million.
Okay. If you throw 1 million balls at your son, if your son wants to play basketball, he shoots 1 million shots, it is easy.
Yeah, he will be the next Curry.
It's like a trick. It's like a trick shot.
Yeah.
It's just a question of the word.
Yeah.
It is easy.
Yeah.
You just said it. I make it sound easy. Because it can be done. If that guy born to throw those knives?
No.
He just put the work in.
Yeah.
So it is easy. Once you're saying, hey, I'm willing to put the work in, then it's easy. For sure it's easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you got to be willing to put the work in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you willing to do that is the question.
Oh, without a doubt in my mind. I know it's going to take countless hours. I know it's going to be a second job.
Thank you. It's a second job.
That's fine. That's fine with me. I had dreams and I wasn't able to achieve them. I had certain circumstances, whatever the case may be. But I have dreams for him as well. So I want him to achieve those. I want to do it in the healthiest way possible.
Now, some parents will say, you know what? He don't want to get up and go to the gym. He's always on his phone and screwing around. You know what? If he doesn't want to do it, I can't make it. I'm not going to be out there on the field catching balls with him, playing football with him. He's going to be out there by himself. So if he doesn't show me he wants it, I'm not going to stand behind him. That's all bullshit. That's a lazy parent.
Yeah, no kid is going to just like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to do this myself. No kid does that.
The exception kids do. The exceptional kids will do that. But that's only very few.
Well, that's like shoot, like the
That's
one
not even
percent of the
1%, less than
1%.
1%.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? So I made my kids do this. They wouldn't have chose to do this had I not been there.
yeah,
I don't know what they would have
yeah,
chose.
yeah,
I chose this for them. I sharpened their knives.
yeah,
I made
yeah,
sure I threw enough knives on the wall to get them ready.
yeah.
You have to do
So
that. Your
I got
son can't do it himself. You have to do it.
yeah, yeah. I got a question for you, like for just for you. I noticed you do a lot of storytelling. How were you? How were you able to become good at that? You're able to put
You
stories
know,
and
my
make up
sons
metaphors and
say
stuff.
that and ask that question. I don't know. I just, when I was a kid, I would hear things and I go, oh, that sounds good. And things that made sense to me, resonated with me, I try to retain them because it's a good way to explain things to people.
Yeah,
It's just, it's just a good way to, people would say things and I go, wow, that's a good saying. That makes sense. And I would never forget it. And I
yeah,
go, wow, let's see if I can apply that to my life. So as I migrated
yeah,
through life, I heard a lot of things and I tried to retain as much as I could things that made sense to me.
yeah, yeah,
So, and I don't know if it rubbed off on my sons. Maybe they use some of this stuff when they talk to their friends. But uh, like
yeah,
you said, man, I make it sound easy. It is easy, Vincent. It's
yeah,
easy. And it's fun. It's not yelling. You're not doing this right now. It's not that. It's just doing the work and having fun. I mean,
yeah,
every now and then after a football game, my sons would do something I didn't agree with, and I would get mad at them and yell at them. But you know, it wasn't
yeah,
often. The thing
yeah,
was, I'll pull them aside after it's over. Get over here during the game. Like, what the hell are you doing?
yeah,
We worked on that. Don't do it like that. Do it like this. And then,
yeah,
and then sometimes I would be a little more boisterous with him, because it's 2 seconds left on the clock, and he needs to score a touchdown right now, and he needs to know how
yeah,
urgent this thing is. So, depending on the urgency, depends on the inflections of my voice.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
But it's easy. It ain't difficult. That's the thing you got to understand. It's just a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but Vincent, it's fun. You'll never,
Yeah,
ever forget it. You'll treasure every moment that you spend with that young man doing that. It's the
yeah,
best thing I've ever done in my life was to sit with my kids, get in the car with them, get on the airplane, fly here, drive here, work out with these kids, tell them this, tell them that. Oh, it was the best.
yeah.
It's the best thing, and you're doing it at the right time because you don't want to have a baby and go, "What do I do now?"
Oh no, 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 no. I'm telling you, I've been in the books. I've been taking notes. I've been looking at everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been doing everything I can to figure this out. And that was my next question. I was about to ask you. How was your relationship with your father? Like, what made you want to be like this? You know?
Oh man, he has good questions. My dad was a old school guy from Atlanta, Georgia. Did the best he
Yeah,
could. Um, Never had much, but he was a hardworking guy. Uh,
yeah,
didn't support me at all, nor did my mom. Uh, I was playing football, high school, junior high school. They never came to see me
yeah,
play. I started bodybuilding in high school. They never once,
yeah,
ever once came to one bodybuilding show to watch me. Ever. Never. So I had no support from them.
yeah,
I got brothers, but my brothers are not like me. See, I was a self-made guy, but I'm the exception, not the rule. So that's what most folks must understand. You can't say, "Well, if I did it by myself, you can do it by yourself." No, no, no.
yeah,
That's like Michael Jackson's father going, "Well, I think you guys should play music, and I'm gonna buy some instruments and put them in the living room. And if you want to do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't." Well,
yeah. No,
if he
no.
said if he did that, there would be no Jackson 5.
Yeah.
You understand? So it
Yeah,
doesn't
that
make
is true.
sense. So my parents
Yeah.
never helped me, but you got to help your kid. I couldn't even went further. I probably would have done. I was 6'2". I got up to 245 pounds. I could run. I could jump. I was an athletic guy. I could have done anything, but I had no guidance.
Yeah.
So I went
Yeah.
into bodybuilding. I probably would have picked
Yeah.
something else. If my dad would have said, "Hey, why don't you try this?" So my parents, my upbringing, I got no help from them.
Yeah.
Zero. But I'm not the father that says, "Well, I did it on my own. You can do it on your own." No, that dog ain't gonna hunt. Not that dog.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Do you think that you would be the father you are today if your parents weren't the way they were with you?
That's a good question. I don't think I would be. I think the way I was raised, them not there, not to support me, not to help me, I think that made me. So I went to Cal State Fullerton, and so when I got
Okay.
to the University of Fullerton, I had a class, and they were talking about codependency. I never heard that. I'm like, okay, what is that? So they're talking about it, and they said, well, for an example, if your mother and father was an alcoholic or drink, there's a good chance you'll be an alcoholic. I go, wow, really? Interesting. So I thought about the way my mom and dad would beat my sisters and my brothers and I. They'd just beat us, like make us take all our clothes off and whip us with extension cords until we had blood
Yeah.
bleeding from our welts on our legs and our backs. I mean, that was
Yeah.
child abuse. I remember
Yeah.
my mom. She looked at me one day, and apparently I must have rolled my eyes, and I was like, I don't know, 10 years old, and she goes, "Look at me. Then don't roll your eyes at me." And I was so afraid, so I kept looking at the ground because I didn't know what roll your eyes meant. And she started
Yeah.
slapping me in my mouth with her hands like that until my lips
Yeah.
started bleeding.
Yeah.
That's abuse. You see? And the
Yeah.
only reason I didn't look at it because I didn't know what I was doing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think. See, I said I'm gonna cut that cord. I'm not gonna. So what happens
Yeah.
is their parents beat them probably, and the
Yeah.
slaves was beat by the master. So we, as
Yeah.
black people, were getting beat our whole lives, and we
Passed
would
down.
pass it on to our kids. So I
Yeah.
said to myself, I'm cutting that cord. When I took that
You
class,
wanted to break the
I would
generation.
never do those things to my kids that my mom and dad did to us. Never. I
Yeah.
treat them completely different. That's why I did it. So to answer your question,
Yeah.
I guess there's a silver lining there. Had they not done that, maybe I wouldn't have been the same with my kids. If they would have done everything for me, maybe I don't know. But because they did nothing for me, I swore to myself I would never treat my kids like that.
Yeah. Yeah. You changed for the
Yeah.
best. Yeah. You broke a generation. You just broke the generational
Yes.
curse. That's my
Yes.
goal. That's literally my goal, to be a father like that. To break the generational curse.
Do
I
you
don't want
drink?
divorce in my family. Not
No,
really.
no, no.
Occasionally,
Shit. Here we
I
go. He said not really. Is it?
in
Well,
college.
let's start over. It's a yes or no question. Ain't no in the. You
Okay.
either
Yes.
pregnant or you ain't pregnant. Okay,
Yes.
so I ain't never had a drink in my life. So why? I didn't want to do it because I saw guys on the street doing drugs, and I said I'm not going to do that. So guess what? The thing they had in common, they took one drink. So I ain't doing it. And it doesn't mean that my kids are not going to do it. My wife drinks, but I just didn't
Yeah.
want to do it and try to instill in my kids not to do it.
Yeah.
But I just recently found out the little jokers are drinking. I'm very disappointed in them. I'm very disappointed in that. But I'm like, what? That must have came from my wife because she be drinking shit. I don't drink.
Yeah. Well, that's a good. My fiance, she doesn't drink
Yeah,
or
well, you
anything.
do. So that's you the
Nothing. She
problem.
doesn't.
Because see,
Yeah, I know
talking
I
about
am the problem.
stories, listen, If you hang out at the barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut.
No, you're right about that one.
Yeah.
No, that's
So I just try to stay away from stuff that wasn't good for me, and because I wanted to be something great. And so I said, I'm not doing this, I'm doing that. I'm going to try to do everything I can to make myself something great in life. And I did the same thing with my kids. And I'm telling you, man, you are blessed. You got this boy coming, man. You get to teach him all this stuff. Oh, man, it's wonderful. You're about to have a great ride. Great ride.
No, I'm very grateful for for you telling me.
And
all
if you
this,
have a
man.
daughter, because after your wife has that baby, the next one, and she's Mexican too, you look at her, she have another baby. They get pregnant quick.
Who? What? You talking about? Oh, you talking about the Mexicans? Yeah.
Look, Mexicans get pregnant quick, and guess what? Any woman that had a baby gets pregnant really quick. The second one.
Seriously?
Overnight, she's probably already pregnant again. You don't even know it. So they get pregnant quick. But you may have a daughter. If you have a daughter, same situation. Don't put her in some stupid stuff. There's only 2 sports. A woman can. If I had a girl, she only playing golf or tennis. There's nothing else I'll let her play. No gymnastics, all that stupid stuff. Those gold medals are not even gold. They're gold plated. Man, come on, man.
Yeah.
Track and field. Nah, don't do nothing like that. Don't do soccer. Okay. Don't do none of that old craziness. All right, Vincent. Okay. So that's about an hour, my man. It was a pleasure talking to you. If you need to talk again, as you go through life, call us, hit us up, and okay, go ahead.
One more, man, please. What were your biggest mistakes that you made, and that you would like if you wanted to redo it, like how would you do it differently? Like, if you
that's a good question. You got good questions. I like that. One mistake I made with my boys, I didn't let them do chores around the house. That was a mistake. They didn't clean their rooms. Okay. Me and my wife would clean them. They didn't wash their clothes. They didn't take the trash out. They didn't cut the yard. They didn't do nothing. But I think it was a mistake, but let me tell you why I say that. They never had like summer jobs. That could have been a mistake also. But I tell you why I did it.
Yeah.
It's because they had German, French, and English. My wife was real hard on them with education. I was real hard on them with sports. Their day was full, jam-packed. And I wanted to make sure they're still kids. That make sense?
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure they still had fun.
Yes, sir.
So I said, you know what?
Yes, sir.
I'll take care of all that. Because your plate is full.
Yes, sir.
Just be a kid and have fun. But sometimes
I
look back and I go, man, I probably should have made them at least clean the yard or do something, But I didn't do that. So that was one little thing that I think about sometimes. I go, and maybe a summer job every now and then wouldn't have hurt them, But if they did the job, my thought was, man, how many hours are going to be there? 8 hours? 7 hours? Man, that's 7 hours that we can be putting in work. That's 7 hours we could be throwing knives. Right?
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't do that.
No, that's true.
But
that
if anything that comes to mind is something so trivial as that. But in most part, I think I would have done everything I did the same. I just would have made sure that, a doctor, Osiris had hurt his toe in high school, and without my approval, a doctor shot cortisone in his foot, and that's how he messed up his foot. And I would have told him, don't let any doctor do nothing to you without talking to me. I would have said it to them when they're little kids. So right now, as parents, you tell your kids, don't let any doctor touch them without talking to the person in charge of their health. And may that be your mama or your dad.
Okay.
don't let anybody touch your kids.
Okay. Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Well, I mean, sure. That was my last question.
And don't. Do you take the COVID
Yeah, you
shot?
answered a lot.
Yeah,
Did I take the COVID shot? I had to for
yeah.
football.
I
We
don't
all
like
had
that. I
to
don't
take
like
this.
that. See, I don't like that.
Did they have to
Yeah,
take it at the
I don't know
time?
if Osiris took
Your
it, but
son?
my other two sons did. I told them not to, but you just got to be careful.
What? Which one did
I don't. I don't think Osiris took it. I'm not sure. Yeah,
they
I
took? The
don't know. It's all no
Pfizer
good.
or
I don't care what it is. Pfizer,
yeah?
Pfizer, Kaiser. No, it's all bad.
Did they get any shots when they were
Yeah,
first
they got
born?
all the little ones they did. The ones that were
Okay.
already tested and approved. So,
Okay. Okay. Good. Good.
all right, my man. Well, that's it. And again, don't hesitate. I know you because there's gonna be more questions. You're gonna be thinking of things like, "Oh man, I wanted to ask this," you know. But right now, you got a lot on your plate. We talked about a lot, enough to keep him right and put him on the right path. That makes sense. I
Yes,
think
sir.
you
Man,
out
I
of all
appreciate
the
it.
guys, you asked some of the best questions. Yeah,
I appreciate
very,
it.
very,
Thank you.
very, very, very good. Make sure your wife is not easy. I mean, and if she starts speaking English,
Yeah.
you get on her case. Don't let her speak English
Yes, sir.
ever.
Yes, sir.
All right, good.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, my man, keep the faith, and we'll see you
I
on the
appreciate
next time, brother.